Dhamma in the public square, a Theravada perspective on modern governance. The political imperative of mindfulness. Welcome, everyone. Today we are examining politics through the lens of the Tipitaka, the Pali Canon. Modern politics often feels like dukkha, a systemic cycle of dissatisfaction and conflict. The Aggañña Sutta, Daya Nikaya 27, reminds us that social order originated not from divine mandate, but from the human realization that greed and misconduct necessitate a collective ethical structure. Therefore, politics is fundamentally not about winning power, but about managing lobha, greed, dosa, hatred, and moha, delusion, for the welfare of all. The ruler's ethics, Cakkavatti and the 10 duties. The concept, the Cakkavatti-sīhanāda Sutta, Daya Nikaya 26, teaches the Dasa-rājadhamma, the 10 duties of the ruler. These are not reserved for monarchs. They are the standard for any citizen or official in a position of influence, and, indeed, for anyone who wishes to make a positive impact. The 10 duties, Dasa-rājadhamma, in detail. 1. Dana, generosity, prioritizing public welfare over personal accumulation. 2. Sila, morality, maintaining high ethical integrity in public office. 3. Parakagga, self-sacrifice, willingness to give up personal comfort for the greater good. 4. Ajava, honesty, absolute transparency and rejection of corruption. 5. Madhava, gentleness, a refined and approachable demeanor. 6. Tapa, austerity or restraint, self-discipline and freedom from sensory indulgence. 7. Akoda, non-anger, the ability to remain calm and composed under political pressure. 8. Avihimsa, non-violence, promoting peace and refusing to use force as a political tool. 9. Khanti, patience, the endurance to tolerate diverse views and dissenting opinions. 10. Avarodhana, impartiality, upholding justice without bias or deviation. And, it is worth noting, these principles are, by all accounts, essential for creating a just and harmonious society. Managing conflict, the politics of harmony. Political polarization is the disease of the modern era, a challenge that we must confront and overcome. The Kosambiya Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 48, provides the Sāraṇīyadhamma, the 6 principles of cordiality, to restore unity and bring people together. The 6 principles of cordiality, Sāraṇīyadhamma, in detail. 1. Medakaya, acting with loving kindness toward all, even those with opposing ideologies, and so, fostering a sense of community. 2. Medavasakama, using speech that heals rather than divides, rejecting rhetoric that incites hatred, and instead, promotes understanding. 3. Metamanakama, maintaining thoughts of goodwill toward others, even in disagreement, which is truly a difficult but necessary task. 4. Shrabhoga, sharing benefits and resources equitably to reduce economic suffering, and thereby creating a more just society. 5. Sila Sammanada, adhering to shared ethical standards that protect the community and provide a foundation for harmony. 6. Daihi Sammanada, cultivating a shared vision of harmony rather than focusing on ideological fragmentation, which can be, so, divisive. The Kuddhadanta Sutta, Daya Nikaya 5 in detail. The Buddha taught that social unrest and crime cannot be resolved through punitive measures or state violence alone, a truth that we must acknowledge and confront. The Buddha argued that if a leader attempts to suppress crime without addressing the root cause, economic inequality, lack of employment, and basic lack of resources, the unrest will only persist, and so, the problem will remain unresolved. A stable state provides the seed corn and the capital for citizens to lead decent, independent lives, and that is, indeed, a fundamental principle of a just society. Institutional integrity, the Sangha model, the Vinaya or monastic code of conduct, is arguably the world's oldest democratic blueprint, and it functions through a consensus or Sangha, where decisions are not forced through brute power, but are debated and negotiated until a collective agreement is reached. Accountability, where the law or Vinaya governs everyone, from the most junior member to the most senior leader. Takeaway: modern parliaments often prioritize winning over process, but the Buddhist model suggests that if the process is rooted in transparency, ethics, and mutual respect, the outcomes will naturally benefit the common good. Conclusion: beyond the ballot box. Real change is not just policy change, but a fundamental shift in the citta or mind, and policies change, but human nature remains constant. As the Dhammapada, verse 5, states, hatred is never appeased by hatred in this world. By non-hatred alone is hatred appeased. This is a law eternal. Call to action. I encourage you to hold your leaders accountable, not just for their economic results, but for their moral conduct, and to foster small-scale democracy in your own communities through patience, active listening, and the practice of metta. Thank you so much. See you next video.